Good evening. Welcome to Election Night in America 2020. Tonight we have Senator Bernie Sanders from the state of Vermont versus, of course, the incumbent President Donald Trump from the state of New York. It is now time for our 7 p.m. poll closings. Out of the state of Virginia, Bernie Sanders is the projected winner of their 13 electoral votes. The state of Vermont, his home state, overwhelmingly going to Bernie Sanders, 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump's first win of the night comes from the state of Kentucky with its 8 electoral votes. Donald Trump will also win in his vice president's home state of Indiana, a state that he served as a governor from. Donald Trump wins Indiana with its 11 electoral votes. The 9 electoral votes from the state of South Carolina are currently too early to call. This does not mean that this state is currently too close to call, just we do not have enough information to make a characterization at this point. Too early to call South Carolina. However, out of the state of Georgia, it is currently too close to call with 16 electoral votes at stake. Keep in mind, Georgia was a swing state back in 2016, and it is this election season as well. Bernie Sanders doing very well amongst African American voters. And looking at our current electoral map, Bernie Sanders has 2 states to Donald Trump's 3, giving Donald Trump a lead with 19 electoral votes to Bernie Sanders' 16. It is now time for our 7:30 p.m. poll closings with 38 electoral votes at stake from the states of West Virginia, Ohio, and North Carolina. The state of South Carolina, 9 electoral votes previously too early to call, now landing in the Donald Trump column, joined by the state of West Virginia with its 5 electoral votes, overwhelmingly went to Donald Trump in 2016 as it is going now in 2020, Donald Trump the projected winner. From the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump narrowly leads Bernie Sanders by 0.1% with 15 electoral votes at stake. Polls closed here in 7:30, as I previously mentioned, along with the state of Ohio with 18 electoral votes. Now, this is a state Bernie Sanders is currently leading in, again by the small margin of 0.2% this time around. And on our current electoral map, Bernie Sanders has 16 electoral votes remaining with the 2 states of Virginia and Vermont, and Donald Trump now adding to his total, adding the states of South Carolina and West Virginia, totaling up to 33 electoral votes. It is now time for our 8 p.m. poll closings with 172 electoral votes at stake. The state of Alabama, Donald Trump is the projected winner with its 9 electoral votes as expected. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Mississippi, 6 electoral votes. Out of the solid Republican state of Missouri, 10 electoral votes, Donald Trump is the projected winner. No real surprise from the volunteer state, Tennessee, 11 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. Another red state adding to his column. And the state of Oklahoma, with its 7 electoral votes, will go to Donald Trump, one of the most conservative states in the union. And the state of Illinois, Bernie Sanders' first quote-unquote big win of tonight with 20 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. He wins out of the state of Maryland with its 10 electoral votes at stake. It seems like that primary loss was years away. The state of Delaware, 3 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. Keep in mind, this is the state that Joe Biden was from, and he defeated him in the primaries. The state of New Jersey, 14 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. No surprise from the state of Massachusetts, his running mate's home state, 11 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner from the state of Massachusetts. And the state of Connecticut, with its 7 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. Bernie Sanders will also carry the state of Rhode Island with its 4 electoral votes as expected. The state of Maine, with all 4 of its electoral votes now going to Bernie Sanders. This is an interesting characterization considering that Maine's 2nd congressional district went to Donald Trump back in the 2016 presidential election and is now flipping back into the Democratic column for Bernie Sanders, 4 electoral votes. The state of, the District of Columbia, 3 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. The most liberal party of the United States obviously goes to the Democratic candidate. Out of the state of Florida, the Sunshine State's 29 electoral votes, always crucial to every single presidential election campaign. Bernie Sanders narrowly leads Donald Trump in this state with some Republican and Democratic counties outstanding. State of Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes. Donald Trump the projected winner. Bernie Sanders again leading here, but by a larger margin than in other swing states. In the state of New Hampshire, keep in mind Hillary Clinton won this state by around 2,000 votes in the 2016 presidential election. Bernie Sanders now leads Donald Trump with 4 electoral votes at stake and 80% of precincts reporting. We should make a call there soon. And on our current electoral map, we have a lot more red, blue, and yellow, which gives Donald Trump a total of 76 electoral votes, and now Bernie Sanders taking his first lead of the night at 92 electoral votes. It is now time for our 8:30 p.m. poll closings with only 6 electoral votes at stake. from the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas, as we can expect, a solid Republican state, going to Donald Trump, again 6 electoral votes to add to his total, giving him a total of 82 electoral votes to Bernie Sanders' 92. It is now time for our 9 p.m. poll closings with 156 electoral votes at stake. A lot of states coming from New York, ranging all the way down to Louisiana, all the way over to Arizona. Every single state in yellow will be characterized at this point. The state of South Dakota, 3 electoral votes, Donald Trump, the projected winner as expected. The state of North Dakota joining South Dakota, 3 electoral votes going to Donald Trump. Going over to the state of Wyoming, 3 electoral votes, Donald Trump is the projected winner. Now filling in a remainder part of the red wall, the state of Nebraska, all 5 of their electoral votes will go to Donald Trump, including Nebraska's 2nd district. It is a lot closer than it was in 2016, but will remain in the Republican column regardless. The state of Louisiana, 8 electoral votes, finishing in parts of the South. Donald Trump is the projected winner. The state of Colorado, however, will go to Bernie Sanders. I think that this state is a very interesting state, considering if you look at the primary results, it indicated a Bernie Sanders victory, and this is no longer considered a key race compared to 2016. The state of Colorado will go to Bernie Sanders with its 9 electoral votes, joined by the state of New Mexico, a state that used to be characterized as a swing state in presidential elections, now going to the Democratic Party at the top of the hour. 5 electoral votes. The state of New York, 29 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. A contested Democratic primary here, a not so contested general election. 29 electoral votes. This is a big one. The state of Michigan officially flips. The first state flip of the evening. The state of Michigan going from red to blue. 16 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. He will carry the state of Michigan in the 2020 presidential election. Another flip, the state of Pennsylvania, 20 electoral votes going from red to blue. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner of Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes, crucial to both presidential election campaigns. Though this is a key race alert, it is expected. The state of New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders did phenomenal in the Democratic primary here. Bernie Sanders carries the state of New Hampshire with its 4 electoral votes, a small but symbolic victory. In the state of Minnesota, again, another state that previously was characterized as a key race in 2016 and 2018 for various races. The state of Minnesota goes to Bernie Sanders with its 10 electoral votes at the top of the hour. The state of Wisconsin, however, the only state in the Rust Belt that is currently too close to call. Bernie Sanders narrowly leads Donald Trump, 10 electoral votes at stake. And the state of Arizona, a Sun-Belt state, Donald Trump leads Bernie Sanders. Still a Republican state at heart. We'll see how this one ends up at the end of the evening. A contested Senate race there. The state of Kansas, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are in a contest here. Too early to call, 6 electoral votes. The interesting thing about the state of Kansas is that it showed a little bit more support for progressive candidates back in the 2018 midterm elections. We'll see how that holds up now. We do not have enough information to characterize it for either candidate. The state of Texas is also too early to call, with surprisingly very little precincts reporting. 38 electoral votes right now, too early to call. On our current electoral map, Bernie Sanders has a very large lead with 185 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 104. It is now time for our 10 p.m. poll closings with 21 electoral votes at stake from the states of Iowa, Montana, Utah, and the state of Nevada. The state of Utah, 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. Obviously, no surprise here. The state of Montana as well. Contested House race, interesting governor's race here, but not so much for the general election. For the presidency, Donald Trump overwhelmingly wins in the state of Montana, 3 electoral votes. This is a big win for Donald Trump. The state of Texas, it is expected, but still a big win regardless. 38 electoral votes, adding to Donald Trump's numbers, should put him up in the running with Bernie Sanders. Kansas, another key race, 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. And the state of Nevada, of course, is too close to call. Donald Trump actually leads Bernie Sanders here in national polling. 6 electoral votes. Donald Trump leading Bernie Sanders, interesting enough. The state of Iowa is also too early to call. 6 electoral votes. No characterization here. And on our current electoral map, a lot more states filled in with barely any states remaining, showing that Bernie Sanders in a lead with 185 electoral votes and Donald Trump catching up at 161 electoral votes. Keep in mind that 270 electoral votes are needed to win the presidency for both candidates. It is now time for our 11 p.m. poll closings with 82 electoral votes at stake, mostly coming from the state of California. The state of Idaho, 4 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. The state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes. This one is definitely crucial to the Trump campaign. The state of Georgia will go to Donald Trump at the end of the evening, 16 electoral votes. He will also carry the state of North Carolina with its 15 electoral votes at stake. Donald Trump is the projected winner. The state of California, with its 55 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. He wins out of the state of California, a very large win for the Democratic Party, but it is expected every election season. Joined by the state of Washington, with its 12 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. Another very progressive state, the state of Oregon. 7 electoral votes. Bernie Sanders is the projected winner. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard was almost his VP nomination, but the state of Hawaii, where Tulsi Gabbard is from, still goes to Bernie Sanders with its 4 electoral votes. And the state of Nevada, a key race alert, 6 electoral votes going to Bernie Sanders as expected. And on our current electoral map, Donald Trump has 192 electoral votes and Bernie Sanders has 269. Keep in mind, 270 are needed to win. At this point in time, this means that this would go to the House of Representatives and Donald Trump remains and wins every single remaining electoral vote, in which case, as we've already projected this evening, the Democratic Party has retained control of the House of Representatives. We can likely expect a Bernie Sanders victory if it does go to the House, but we will see by the end of the evening. And we now have a state call from the state of Wisconsin with its 10 electoral votes. And the state of Wisconsin, Bernie Sanders is the projected winner with its 10 electoral votes. And on our current electoral map, as you can see, Donald Trump has 192 electoral votes and Bernie Sanders has 279, which means that he has 9 past the magic number, which means that Bernie Sanders will go on to be the 46th president of the United States of America. Bernie Sanders wins the presidency of the United States, coming from a nobody in the 2016 Democratic primaries and going on to the 2020 primaries and winning without the use of superdelegates and going on to win the presidency. This is a monumental election. He becomes the first Jewish president of the United States of America. As you can see, denoted by the check mark, has 279 electoral votes. It is now time for our 1 a.m. poll closings with 3 electoral votes at stake. The state of Alaska, 3 electoral votes. Donald Trump is the projected winner. Donald Trump will also carry the state of Arizona, and its 11 electoral votes does not make much of a difference on the map. And the state of Iowa, this is a big flip considering Donald Trump almost won this by double digits back in 2016. The state of Iowa goes to Bernie Sanders, 6 electoral votes. And Bernie Sanders will also carry the state of Ohio, and its 18 electoral votes, a very large win for the president-elect. Bernie Sanders wins the state of Ohio, finalizing our electoral numbers at 303 electoral votes for Bernie Sanders, 235 for Donald Trump, and our electoral map with the flips from the states of Maine, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Iowa. Thank you guys for watching this video. This video was my own prediction for a 2020 race between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. I really wanted to include this. The theme does look very similar. I've decided that from here on out, I'm probably going to switch up the themes a little bit. I do love the CNN theme because I think it looks sleek and I think it's very simple design. Gets straight to the point. But I'm also going to consider using the Fox News theme and possibly, a Sky News theme. Whatever you guys want to see, comment down below if you guys want to see any other type of theme, so I can go ahead and see that one. Also, I'm probably going to start doing full election nights, which means that I'm not going to be able to do this all on my own. I'm going to need a group of people to possibly help me, so I'm probably going to put Google form sign up in the description. So if you guys want to be able to help me make election nights and make predictions for, let's say, the 2020, 2022 possibly races, then go ahead and sign up below in the description. It'll be a Google form link probably at the top of the description or in a pinned comment or both. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.